Like, what's really standing out to you?
Laura made an excellent point in her reporting. It's these individuals who were working with Epstein. They were boots on the ground. They were managing the affairs at the house. They were the housekeepers. They were the people who were there, who were seeing the day-to-day. Something that really stood out to me that actually was mirrored in Ghislaine Maxwell's criminal trial is that Ghislaine took a passport of a 15-year-old girl to keep her on the island. And that is the type of thing where you have individuals who don't really have a horse in the race here, right?
Yeah.
And they're telling their story. And again, as Laura reported, there were threats about speaking about any of this further. That's what really moves the needle here. We hear a lot of high-profile names, but those are the witnesses that really make an impact on a case.
And just all the little details that we didn't know about that don't even have anything to do with these other men and the names. Just what a scheme this was. I mean, all those little details were so interesting. I want to pull up the list, though, of the people who were mentioned the most, because there's a lot of focus on this. Alan Dershowitz, 137 times we've had him here on NewsNation. You know, he's fought back any allegations against him. Clinton, 73 times. He's in Mexico now. We don't know what he thinks. Bill Clinton, I'm sorry, 29 times. Prince Andrew, Bill Richardson, you know, Donald Trump, Michael Jackson. A lot of these people not necessarily tied to criminal activity. We don't really know for sure, but they were just sort of in his orbit. But what I found so interesting, Misty, was just how many powerful people he had around him. I mean, is this just because he was so rich? Like, he had everybody right there, from movie stars to politicians. It's like unbelievable.
Yeah, he ran in these circles, and that's part of the argument about, as we know, he had this sweetheart deal, a prosecutorial deal in 2007, and many opine it's because he had access to all of these powerful people around him that this was managed to go under the radar for so long. And Brian, I think when you read these names, and again, not a lot of wrongdoing. This is deposition transcripts, asking questions. Did you ever see this person? Did you ever meet this person? Did you ever speak to this person? A lot of times the answer was no. Their names were just coming up, as you said, because they're in Epstein's orbit. But it is incredibly interesting to just see how far-reaching his influence was with all of these individuals, politicians and movie stars alike.
And you're right, it makes sense when you hear about that sweetheart deal that we've been reporting on for years. Now it's like, oh, because the guy knew everybody.
Right,
they were
a lot
on
of
his
criticism.
Plane. Everybody was taking a free flight, it seems like.
Right, a lot of criticism in the prosecutor who entered into that deal after the fact, once it was all exposed. And again, that sweetheart deal, critical argument in the appeal of Ghislaine Maxwell, whether she was encompassed in that non-prosecutorial agreement and whether that can be enforced in New York. So a lot of issues that we'll see coming up in these documents that are going to play out in other aspects of the case.
Which is interesting, Misty says that, Laura, because the statement you just got from Arthur, Ghislaine's lawyer, sort of says the opposite. Like, they're trying to make it seem like, well, this list doesn't really have anything to do with her.
That's right. And he has said all along, you know, he was on your show the other night, and we're going to see him again tonight, I believe, here in studio, that she maintains she did nothing wrong. She's sticking with that. I've asked for an interview. I've asked for further statements from her, and that is where he's staying with that.
It's interesting. You know, after we were on the other night, Misty, I went on Twitter. You know, we didn't have time during it, but I was looking at all the comments. We got a little bit of heat, which was interesting. People saying, why are you, it seems like you're defending all of these men. You're defending Bill Clinton. It's like, we weren't defending Bill Clinton. I don't know what he did. You don't know what he did. We were just saying we don't have the context necessarily. Like, you have to know the big picture. We don't really know it.
Right. What I can say is, of course, the allegations, what we're seeing, the information coming out, it's disturbing, but it has to be looked at in the grand scheme of what these documents are. This wasn't a client list like many have kind of referred to it in the media. It is the docket of a civil case that is now being released. It's a document dump of that civil case. And in that, it's discovery. Discovery is really expansive. There's depositions. There's information that's being sought. The case ultimately settled, did not go to trial. So it's really important to understand where the information is coming from and that it's not dispositive of anything. It's just merely information we're finding out. It's not apologizing for any bad conduct by any means, but it truly is important to look at it through the sphere of what it actually represents, and that's discovery in a civil matter.
And Laura, you're saying we could get more in today?
That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that, you know, we reported yesterday that this was going to come out on a rolling basis. And I had heard hundreds of pages yesterday, and I was kind of thinking in the 2s or 3s. So when we got 934 pages yesterday, all of us were like, okay. And we had, you know, this great team of people. Thank you to everybody who helped us. But we've got to be ready again, because it could be that many. We could be seeing much more today, tomorrow. It is not over yet. It is only just beginning.
And just real quick, Misty, based on what Laura is saying, did the first batch of documents give you any clue of what might be to come, or is it like we have no idea?
Well, here's what I saw. I saw that the lawyers asked for 10 extra depositions. And so think about the depth of those deposition transcripts that we saw, which were just a few. So there could be a lot more just relating to the depths. There's also going to be motions and other documents that were exchanged. So there could be quite a bit more coming our way.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.